we're going to talk about Australia again. So Australia's been doing some great things lately. They're really coming back off that submarine program that they fouled up. So Australia is Operation Indo-Pacific Endeavour 21 is kicking off. HMA ship Canberra and Anzac set sail from Darwin last night, marking the start of an Indo-Pacific naval activity. Let's see who's going to be part of this. Joint Chief Operations Lieutenant General Greg Bilton says the development reinforces Australia's strong and enduring partnership with Southeast Asia. And there's a quote there from the general. Let's go down to the piece here. Oh, look at these sailors right over the green armbands getting ready to go to sea. He says, centered on Maritime Task Force IEP 21 involves approximately 700 people, including Australian Defence Force and civil defence engineers and sea riders from partner nations. Engagements have been modified in response of COVID-19 pandemic and will be carried out primarily through a contactless port visit. Oh no, that doesn't sound like fun at all. Contactless port visits, including range and virtual workshops of at-sea activities. Okay, kind of a smaller war game it sounds like. 700 people is really not that many, but they are just coming off a really big war game called Talisman Sabre. So I'm surprised that they're doing another one so soon after that large one. Maybe these people didn't take part in the Talisman Sabre. I don't know. All right, so the commander of task force said while on deployment would remain contactless. This is really more about how they're doing training in a COVID environment. They keep doing virtual workshops and saying that they're going to be contactless. I don't know how effective that is going to be in a real world environment if they don't have some kind of hands-on training. He says all measures are being taken to ensure IP21 is being conducted in a safe manner because of the COVID, including testing, deployment of personnel, and pre-deployment quarantine contactless activities. The ships are due to return in Australia in November. Wow. So this is a long at-sea operation. This is, 2 or 3 months. So it's not just a simple week or two exercise. This is an ongoing training thing. Anyway, very cool. I'm glad to see that they're going to sea. That's a beautiful ship. Look how big that is. This is the HMAS Canberra. Looks like it's some kind of VLS or a VTOL, a vertical takeoff ship, helicopter carrier. What do you guys think about this? You need NQB training after all? Yeah. BVR and BCR for COVID ranges? Yeah, beyond visual range training. Absolutely. I mean, I understand that you have to take the highly contagious virus into account whenever you do training. Obviously, you don't want your whole crew getting sick. It's real easy on board ship too, where if one person gets sick, it could spread to everybody quickly because it's it's contained or a confined environment. So it's important to talk about it, which they're doing, but don't limit your training because of it, right? So do they have the F-35s? So someone in chat says they do. I didn't know that. I wasn't sure if they had them operational yet. So I guess this carries the F-35. It would be the B, right? The vertical takeoff one. Yeah. All right, cool. All right, let's go on to the next story right here. All right, so we talked a little bit about hypersonic weapons. Well, the Navy is testing the second stage of its hypersonic rocket motor. This is from Strategic System Programs, successfully conducting a test of the second stage rocket motor, or SRM, on August 25th in Promontory, Utah. Wow, Promontory, Utah. As part of a development of the Navy's Conventional Prompt Strike, or CPS, offensive. This is the weapon that I'm telling you that we're going to get first. I think the Navy's going to finish this development before our other branches, including the Air Force, finish theirs. Much to the chagrin of my many Air Force viewers. This will be the This was the initial live fire test of the second stage SRM and follows the successful test of the first stage SRM on May 27th. The test is marked the successful testing of both stages for the newly developed missile booster, as well as the thrust vector control system. That's the biggest thing. Going fast is easy compared to controlling it fast. So the fact that they got the thrust vector control system test complete is really important. These tests are a vital step in the development of the Navy's designed common hypersonic missile that will be fielded for both the Navy and the Army. Good. So they're combining. They're going to use these on both sides, land and sea. That's really smart. And that's going to save us some money too, because every branch has had its own program up to now. And they may still have their own program to develop a hypersonic weapon, whether it's a glide vehicle or not. Everyone's trying to make their own version of it. And that's just inefficient. They need to combine like they're doing, build one that works and let everybody use it. All right. So what we're developing here says long range hypersonic weapon, or LRHW, an experimental prototype of the LRHW with residential combat capability, is for fiscal year 23, at the battery level as part of the Strategic Fires Battalion in support of the multi-domain operations. So they're going to have, looks like just one in each truck, probably more than one you'd think, but at least one in each truck. Here we go. 2 rounds per transport. So 2 in each truck right there. Very cool. And you can see the glide vehicle right there. Hypersonic glide body, block 1. It looks like a dart. Oh, look how much smoke that thing's producing. Jesus. Okay. The second stage SRM will be part of the new missile booster for the services and will be combined with the common hypersonic glide body, or the CHGB, to create a common hypersonic missile. Each service will use the common hypersonic missile while developing individual weapon systems and launchers tailored for launch from sea and land. The successful SRM test represents a critical milestone leading up to the next series of tests. The Navy and Army are going to be doing joint flight tests. Okay. So I guess the glide vehicle itself will be used by all branches, even though we're going to continue with the individual programs, is what it says. And here, wrapping it up, it says, the hypersonic weapon capability of flying at speeds greater than 5 times the speed of sound, Mach 5, are highly maneuverable and operate in a variety of altitudes. In a matter of minutes, the Navy and Army warfighters can defeat high-value targets hundreds or even thousands of miles away. Delivering a hypersonic weapon is one of the DoD's highest priorities. We need to learn how to defend against these too. Like our opponents already have operational hypersonic weapons, and I'm not aware of any system that can defeat it yet. The common hypersonic missile designed for sea and land-based application provides economies to scale for further production and relies upon growing U.S. hypersonics industrial base. So yeah, if you're one of those companies like Raytheon, obviously would be a big one. General Dynamics and General Atomics would be the other one. Those guys are going to be making a lot of money in the future supporting this new industrial base, building these new weapons. All right, what do you guys think? What do you guys think about the new common or a CPS, the hypersonic weapon? It's interesting to see that the Navy finished their railgun testing and focused on hypersonic missiles. Yeah, I think we've stepped back from the railgun testing. Yeah, I don't know if that's completely a dead program, but it's not as active as it used to be. Fam Guy says, one of my friends is an artillery officer. In theory, probably worked on those trucks on the ground, but he's not renewing his contract. Oh, really? He's not? Say, Sledge AU says, be interesting. What will the cost... you think the cost of this program killed the railgun project? They probably couldn't afford both, so I think you have a valid point there. Zebra says, good evening. How's it going, Zebra? Good to see you here. K. Urine says the SM-6 and SM-3 are the best bet against hypersonic ordnance, and the former is hypersonic itself. Yeah, I know they can shoot down ballistic missiles that are incoming, but can they shoot down hypersonic? Because hypersonic is not ballistic, it moves. And so whenever you're moving at those speeds, I imagine that's pretty hard to hit. MDE says, I'm more worried about the replacement of the Phoenix platform. Are you talking about the Phoenix missile? I'm not sure what platform that is. Yeah, so obviously a very expensive program, but one that we're going to have to make because we're already behind in this technology compared to China. So, all right, let's go ahead and bring up the last story. This one's kind of cool. This kind of a pie in the sky story here for you. Havlinsen, which is a Turkish company, unveils Combat Information Center for Future Submarines. And here's a nice little picture of it. You can watch this little YouTube video, and it gives you a little virtual tour of what they're envisioning. Now, I'm going to read the article first, and then I'm going to tell you what I think about this. So from the piece, written by Naval News, oh my gosh, I can't say his name. The author of the piece is Tayfun Özberk, and I hope I said that right. He writes, a new futuristic combat information center, I'll here so you can see it, concept for next generation submarines was unveiled by the Turkish defense company Halvinson at an IDEF exhibition, which took place in Istanbul between August 17th and the 21st of this month. Several defense companies have been working on the National Submarine project in coordination with the Turkish Navy to supply the Turkish Navy with indigenous developed submarines. Halvinson, which had previously developed the Genesis Command and Control C2 system for frigates and network-centric warfare, Advent C2 system for the Ada-class corvette. So they've already got some experience, creating these control environments for the Turkish Navy. They're going to design the concept for the future submarine, specifically the Milden class. I guess the Milden's going to be the next indigenous Turkish submarine that they're building here. All right, given that the average lifespan of a submarine is now 40 to 50 years from design to decommissioning, it is expected that the design of the submarine will meet personal and operational and logistical requirements for the following 50 years. Thus, we're deciding on a technology and design that will be used, a vision of forward thinking, but based on reality is required. Yeah, that's kind of where we went wrong with our LCS program, our Zumwalt program, the attack submarine program, is it wasn't based on reality, So even other countries have learned the lessons of those mistakes, which is good to see. Is a personal-oriented approach. So a submarine CIC concept has been designed in accordance with human perception, comprehension ability, and expectations in order to reduce personal errors and increase performance by foreseeing business processes. It is incorporating a variety of technological features, which includes artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, big data decision support, and Internet of Things, autonomous systems, robotics, Jesus. So these are all the key words you use whenever you're writing a contract proposal for an SBIR contract. If you want to get a military contract from the United States, you include all of these words. Machine learning is a big one right now, deep learning. So they got all the buzzwords on this. This is definitely a company that's worked with contracts before. But it's just a bunch of speak. It doesn't really mean anything unless you back it up with something. Actually doing machine learning and building systems that do deep learning are very difficult to do. But it's real easy to write in a contract. And that's what I suspect is going on here. Okay, the control room is going to have a circular layout like you see here. The layout of the system have been carefully considered in the concept design so the personnel can more easily perceive what's going on around them. The submarine commander's command over the entire CIC is facilitated and the personnel's communication for each other is maximized. Therefore, the CIC was created in a circular layout. The captain and the person may easily make eye contact with his setup. So he's going to stand in the center and he'll be surrounded by people and displays feeding him information. Okay. It's a good idea. I'm not bashing the idea. I was just kind of bashing the language that they were using because they're just using all these buzzwords that you read all the time if you read military contracts. It's really ridiculous. I've been on a team doing machine learning and that shit's hard. I mean, that's some crazy math that goes on there. And people that claim to do it, I don't think all of them actually can. Anyway, the horizontal, and I'm not good at math, by the way. I wasn't there for my math skills. Nope. I was the clown in the corner. I was there to make people laugh. I was the break guy. They're like, hey, let's go get a break. And they bring me onto the Zoom meeting. Anyway, continuing with the piece, the horizontal console, that's this flat console here, will integrate command console and is placed in the center of the CIC where recognized maritime picture RMP is presented as functions as planning the briefing. Okay, basically this is going to be a display where they can have a top-down view, a lot like a video game where they can see everything going on. Okay, like I said, this is a pie-in-the-sky piece. This is what they want to do. This is their vision. Let's see what they actually do. Now, here's why I think this is going to change a lot, because let's go back to the first picture. This picture tells me everything that we need to know, and I wonder if we can play this without getting in trouble. We're not going to play any music, but what we want to see is right here. Aha! Pause. Oh, damn it. Okay. Can we maximize that? We can. Okay. So look at how much wasted space there is in this proposal idea. You've got, this is going to be in the center of the ship near where the sail is, right? Well, you're going to have systems that are forward of that, like in the torpedo room, and systems that are in the engine room that need to be linked together. They're going to be air systems, hydraulic systems, and they're going to be connected with pipes. Well, where are the pipes at? Well, if you, let's go back to the thumbnail. Oh crap, they're not going to show me the thumbnail now. Okay, if you go back to the thumbnail, you can see that in the overhead of the submarine, they've got screens and stuff, and behind those screens are where the pipes are. Okay, so they've solved that problem. So now let's look at the dimension of this submarine. If we look at the little people here and assume that they're 6 feet tall, just from the left-hand side to the right-hand side of the submarine as it's being proposed is about 40 feet. And that's not even the total length, because outside of these projection screens here is where the cable runs are. That's where the all the high pressure piping is going to be. That's another 2 or 3 feet. So we're talking about a submarine that is minimum 45 feet thick. Okay. And that's going to be pushed around probably by a nuclear reactor, to be honest with you, if it's going to be that big. It's just going to be very inefficient. Like, they could go a lot faster if they did not have this design. This is pushing a lot of water out of the way because of the size of this submarine, you know, and this is just the top half. It also has to go around the bottom as well. So if it's just 40 feet right here, it could be, you know, greater than 40 or 45 feet vertically too, if it's not perfectly symmetrical. Who knows? My point is, submarine architects, at least on the United States side, do not like to waste space like this. They see this as an abomination. They're like, we must put something in here. We don't like this open space. So this will work well in surface ships because, you know, you only have part of that ship in the water. When a submarine is submerged and it's having to move a lot of water out of the way because they just want big open spaces, they have an open floor plan, you know, this is not going to fly. But this is a Turkish developer. This is a proposal for them. Maybe this is how they're going to build their submarine. But I'll tell you what, they better learn how to build nuclear submarines, because they're not pushing this around with a battery or an energy cell. This is a huge waste of space. All right, let's see what you guys think. That's what I think about it. John says, more accurately, this was designed by someone who never had been inside an actual submarine. That's probably true, even though they have experience working on surface ships, and it shows here. That's a really good point. They've built this CIC command and control environment for a corvette and a frigate, and they're taking that experience to the submarine level. They're in for a rude awakening the moment the naval engineers sit down with them and be like, hey, we got to connect the systems. We're going through the control room. Where can we put these pipes? And they're going to be like, well, don't block our screens. We got 3D holograms going on in here. Yeah. Now this is fantasy. Zoe says, fill the space with bedding. Yeah, that's true. Where are the people going to sleep? Right. What I'm saying is, this is going to be a very large submarine if they do this. Yeah. Unnecessarily large. Yeah. And the more systems you add to a submarine, the louder it potentially could be. You know, you want to minimize everything. Let's see. TBT says machine learning sounds good, but I hope they have big red off button like Skynet. Yeah. Machine learning is really, really cool, but it's also a little bit terrifying if you go down the rabbit hole with it. Yeah. Let's see. Med says someone is trying to fleece the Turkish Navy. Yeah. You know what? Maybe this is, well, I don't know, because they've already done 2 of these, right? So this is like the 3rd one they're trying to build. So they're clearly not just fleecing. But this type of proposal is ridiculous. I do like it aesthetically. I think it's beautiful, but practically it's very impractical. Yeah. Oh, we can add blockchain to the buzzwords. Yeah. Pipeline. Yeah. Pipeless hydraulics. Very fancy. Yeah. These systems will just run on magic, I guess. Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for the naval news segment today. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. We're going to take a short break, and we're going to come back with some more cold waters. We're going to have to pick a different campaign because the last one crashed terribly. All right. We'll be back in a few minutes.